Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I am Agam Vakil. Well, it's turned out to be a day of trade where we've seen advances. It's a positive end to the trading week, and we're seeing good gains as far as the indices go. The Nifty has, well, ended the day with a gain of around 0.5%. And a lot of this is on the back of Bharti Airtel, which has done well. We have gains in Adani Ports, Aisha Motors, Hero Motocorp, along with TCS providing the bulk of the gains. And we don't have too much in terms of losses, but JSW Steel, IndusInd Bank, and Tata Steel to a certain extent. But once again, the gainers are where the action is. And it's not very different for the NSE 500, where we have a few more gainers as compared to losers. Would say about 28, 27 odd gainers for 23 odd losers on the NSE 500. Bharat Dynamics continuing its up move. We have strong gains in Bharat Electronics as well. Philips Carbon Black had a great day of trade today, as was the case for Syngene and Bharat Forge. Bharat Forge actually reversing some of the losses that we've seen of late. Omax, well, locked in another lower circuit of around 10%, so some concerns there. The street not exactly, well, caring too much for Motherson Sumi's restructuring plans, which is why it's closed with a decline of around 5%. At one point in time, it was well below the mark of 95 rupees a share as well on an intraday basis. Weakness in Sugars, Minda Corp, and something like a Quest Corp too. So, well, that said, we still have more gainers as compared to losers, and it's ended the week on a positive stance. So that's, of course, the big takeaway in today's day of trade. But let's get in our market editor, Niraj Shah, for his thoughts on how things have panned out for today. Just good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Agam. Well, yeah, one of the spaces that you track so closely, IT did a really good job today. I think for the week as well, the IT stocks have had actually a pretty good run. So IT and real estate led from the front today. But because you remember the last few days we've been talking about how after a very quiet June series, can telecom come to the fore? And I think telecom came to the fore today. At least Reliance Industries and Bharti did. You saw some semblance of a move in both of those. Bharti in particular was up about 4%, but Reliance Industries and Reliance, the partly paid up share as well, obviously, along with it, moving well. So that was one interesting bit that happened in trade today, to my mind. We've been talking about this now. It's been 30, 35 days of a very quiet move for telcos after having a stupendous month of May, especially Bharti. Let's see if there is more in store. But the key thing today, to my mind, was on sentiment and on maybe belief that orders will come across because the defense stocks really went up in trade. You had HAL, BEL, the works. I mean, the entire clutter of names. Bharat Forge has this defense angle as well as the classic truck sales angle to it today. But all of these had a stupendous up move on very good volumes. I think though that people should be careful when you're trading them because you never know when these stocks come off. And there are a bunch of people who've gotten caught on the wrong foot in the different stocks, and then the prices haven't come for a really long time. So please analyze the company well before you're buying them. But the last few days, the different stocks have certainly been in favor. And if indeed this heavily uh, heavily spoken about the LSC and the whole India-China issue continues, till then, the flavor could well continue to be with them. But Agam, the other interesting bit is that the Quint has published this article about how the government has said that no power equipment to be imported from China and Pakistan, and that led to the likes of BHEL, L&T, Siemens, etc. do really well for themselves.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And Neeraj, you pointed it out, geopolitics is certainly going to play a very important role in trade over the next few days. But thank you so much for that perspective and joining us to give us an idea of how you're reading the markets. But before we conclude, a quick take on how things are panning out in the futures and options space. So, well, we are into the first week of the July series. It's been stable. We've seen gains, especially considering there were some traders out there were expecting some amount of weakness that really hasn't come out. There's been no profit taking. We've seen steady gains. And in fact, a lot of traders who had sold the 11,000 call are well starting to unwind some of them with their positions there because of the fact that we're seeing an advance. And that said, we're also starting to see a little more writing around the 10,000 put. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that one. Besides that, we're watching out for some of these banking names as well as the NBFCs in the futures and options space, considering there has been buying which has resumed, and it's also pushing to a certain extent the bank Nifty upwards. So we'll be watching after that one as well. The Nifty put call ratio is slightly elevated because it's well above 1.6 at this point in time. That usually means that the markets are overbought. Let's just wait and watch as to how this plays out as we move into trade next week. It's going to be an interesting one for sure. And on that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but there's lots more lined up. Stay tuned to BloombergQuint.